Hello there. I'm just going to quickly run through this type of simultaneous equations where one of them is linear. So basically, you've got simultaneous equations where one is linear. So in other words, one doesn't have x squared or anything, so it might be something like y equals 2x plus 3. And the other one is not linear, and that usually means it's got an x squared term in it. And these are the steps that you need to follow. Basically, you have to use substitution. So you take the linear equation, the one without the x squared in it, to make x or y the subject in the easiest way you can. Substitute that into the other equation, the one with the x squared in it. That will give you a quadratic equation which you need to rearrange and then solve. That will give you either x or y, and once you've got either x or y, you then substitute back into, and the easiest one to substitute it back into is the equation that you got at stage one, the rearranged linear equation. And you can then carry on and find the other letter. When you give your solutions, make sure that you pair up the values of x and y which go to. Okay, first example. So the first equation here is the non-linear one, and the second equation here is the linear one. So I'm going to rearrange the linear one to make x the subject. And in order to do that, I'm going to take away 2y from both sides. Don't make y the subject because you'll end up with fractions, which is horrible. Okay, so x is equal to 2 minus 2y. Now substitute that into the other equation. So instead of x squared plus y squared equals 17, I can replace x with 2 minus 2y. So I've now got 2 minus 2y squared plus y squared is equal to 17. Now it's a quadratic equation, but obviously I need to get it in the right form, so I need to have it as in this form, so ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So I've got to make one side 0. So first of all, let's remove those brackets, remembering that squaring means just doing the bracket multiplied by itself. So it's 2 minus y times 2 minus 2y plus y squared is equal to 17. Okay, removing the brackets, so I'm going to just use FOIL or crab claw. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times minus 2y, well that's minus 4y. And now I do the inner ones, I've got minus 2y times 2, that's minus 4y again. Then minus 2y times minus 2y is plus 4y squared, plus the y squared, so just copying that down, is equal to 17. Now simplify the left-hand side. Well, I'm going to put the y squareds first, so that gives me 5y squared, and I've got minus 8y plus the 4 is equal to 17. And the only thing that I now need to do is make the right-hand side 0 by subtracting 17 from both sides. So that's going to give me 5y squared minus 8y, and then 4 minus 17 is minus 13, is equal to 0. Okay, now your job is to factorize that. Remember, I do that by using the crisscross method. If you'd prefer, oh, where did it change? Right, if you prefer, you don't have to. You can use whatever method is available to you. I'm not going to go into that now because you should know how to factorize. So you've got y, 5y and y. It's going to equal 0. I'm going to have a 13 there, and I'm going to have 1 there. That becomes negative. That becomes positive. So I've got minus 13y plus 5y is minus 8y. That's correct. Okay, so first bracket. So remember, to solve a quadratic equation, either the first bracket has to equal 0. So 5y minus 13 could equal 0. That means that 5y would equal 13. And if we divide both sides by 5, y comes out as 13 over 5, which is 2.6. Okay, or from the other bracket, y plus 1 is equal to 0, which gives me a y value of minus 1. Okay, now for each of those, you need to work out the corresponding value of x. And the easiest equation that you can use is this one up here, x equals 2 minus 2y. Okay, so they're the rearranged linear one. So if x is equal to 2 minus 2y, just write it down here, x is equal to 2 minus 2y. So here, for this y value, x is going to be 2 take away 2 lots of 2.6. Well, that means that x is going to be 2 take away 5.2. So x is equal to minus 3.2. Okay, for the other value over here, we know that x is going to be 2 take away 2 lots of minus 1. Well, that's the same as 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. Okay, so pair up the values. So when x is equal to 4, that means that y is equal to minus 1. Okay, that's one pair of solutions. My other pair of solutions, x equals minus 3.2, and then y equals 2.6. Okay, right. I'm going to do one more now. I've only got time. I think I'll skip that one. I'm going to go straight to this one here. This time it says giving your solutions to correct to 3 significant figures. So I know that that means I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so first of all, the linear one, well, that's the second one. I'm going to rearrange that to make y the subject. So y is equal to 1 minus 2x. Right, substitute that back into the first equation, and I've got x squared plus 1 minus 2x squared is equal to 7. Again, removing the brackets, and I've got x squared plus, so write the bracket first, twice rather, 1 minus 2x, 1 minus 2x is equal to 7. Now remove the brackets there, so x squared plus, so just using FOIL, 1 times 1 is 1. I've got a minus 2x and another minus 2x, and then a plus 4x squared, and that's equal to 7. So simplifying the left-hand side, I've got 4x squared and x squared, well, that gives me 5x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 7. Subtracting 7 from both sides, and I've got 5x squared minus 4x, and then 1 take away 7 is minus 6, is equal to 0. No point trying to factorize it. The question says 3 significant figures. I know I'm going to have to use the formula. So the quadratic formula, I need to know A, and I need to know B, and I need to know C. So in this case, A is 5, the x squared coefficient, or the number in front of x squared. B is minus 4, and C is minus 6. So substituting into the formula, x is equal to minus B, or that's 4, plus or minus the square root of B squared, well, that's 16, minus 4 times A, well, that's 5, times C, minus 6, and that is all divided, remember, by 2A, which is 10. Okay, so pressing on, oops, come back here. So it's, oh, for goodness sake. Okay, so 4 plus or minus the square root of, so that's 16 plus 120, so 120, so 136, and that's divided by 10. Okay, so get your calculator, so, and work out the two values. So the first one is going to be 4 plus the square root of 136 divided by 10, and the second one is x equals 4 minus the square root of 136 divided by 10. Okay, it's really important that you use your calculator memory here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type the first one into my calculator. So my calculator gives me, so 4 plus the square root of 136, and then I divide that by 10. The calculator gives me 1.566, so x equals 1.566. Now in order to work out y, I need to use the exact value there, so I'm going to store it in my memory, so you can just go shift store A, so I'm going to store that in my memory as A, okay, and you can even put a little a by it to show that you've stored it in your memory as A. Now I'm going to do the other one, so 4 take away the square root of 136 divided by 10. Okay, and again, I'm going to get the value there, so that comes out as fraction to decimal. Okay, minus 0.76619, and I'm going to store that in my memory as B. Okay, which means that now all I need to do in order to find out the values of y, so remember my equation was y equals 1 minus 2x. Okay, so y is going to be 1 minus 2 lots of, on your you can use your memory now on your calculator, so it comes out as that, and over here y is going to be 1 minus 2 lots of the minus 0.76, blah 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 blah. So to put that into your calculator, I'm just going to write 1 minus 2, I think it's recall A on yours, so for this one, I get y comes out as minus 2.13 0.23. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to type in onto my calculator 1 minus 2, recall B. Okay, and that comes out as 2.5323. Okay, so all I need to do now is write my two solutions. So x is equal to 1 point. Remember, it said to two significant figures. Three significant figures. Okay, so x is going to be 1.57 for this pair, and y equals minus 2.13. Okay, and the other set of two values, x equals minus 0.766, and the alternative is y equals 2.53. Okay.